Welcome back for round two of the old Cranky Man Collectibles Modern Championship Series Qualifier. In the
Right
feature
into
match, we have in the feature match area we have a spicy one. It's Aiden playing Oops all spells.
Do you think he has some spells in there?
Probably all of the spells.
Oh my god.
At the bottom of your screen, we have Adam playing Izzet Murktide.
Very good deck.
So the Oops All Spells deck really got a lot of technology in Battle for Zendikar.
Oh yeah.
You know, where like all of these lands that are also spells, but they're not lands.
Yeah.
So how are we gonna win? Are we gonna win with a Goblin Charbelcher?
I think we win with a the vampire that mills until you get a land.
Balustrade Spy. And then to put Narcomoebas into play.
Correct.
So you can Dread Return a Thassa's Oracle.
Dread Return not legal in Modern.
Oh, Dread Return's banned. So how do you put the Thassa's Oracle into play?
I don't know the answer to that. Let me look up this deck. I wasn't aware that this was really a known quantity.
Modern, a format where you can just play all of the sweet decks.
Yeah, so it could be a Belcher, or it could be a Balustrade Spy. If we do
Balustrade Spy doesn't win though; it just mills your entire deck.
correct, but then we have Vengevines.
You got them upside down. Murktide is at the top of your screen. Hang on just a second. Let me get this updated for the stream. On how this deck wins. So
Yeah,
how
so-
does this deck win?
Creeping Chill.
That's only 12.
So Creeping Chill, and then you have Vengevines.
Okay, so you're just gonna put a bunch of power into play
got
and
it.
attack.
Yeah, and it has,
Interesting.
and it has Memory's Journey to shuffle cards back into your library.
Interesting.
And it's running cards like Jack-O-Lantern, Sword of the Meek, Talisman of Dominance, Talisman of Hierarchy, and then 2 copies of Goblin Charbelcher.
Interesting. So I gotta say, turn 1 Ragavan never looks bad.
No.
Also,
What's it getting?
it looks like it peeled. I have no idea what
That is
card
an Undercity Informant.
I'm not gonna lie. I have no idea what that card is.
It also does have a Thassa's Oracle that you can then shuffle back into your library. That's a Phantasmagorian.
Phantasmagorian. So Murktide gonna play a turn 2 Dragon's Rage Channeler, pass back.
Sort of on the fairest game plan here, right?
We'll untap with the Talisman of Dominus 2 lands. Here's the 3rd land. He's gonna take 3. Charbelcher coming.
It's possible.
It is a grief.
It's a grief.
Pitching a Balustrade Spy.
No,
so we're
that's
gonna see if the coast is clear for the Charbelcher.
Yeah, that was a Creeping Chill that he
Sounds
pitched.
good.
Yeah, Creeping Chill you don't really cast.
No. Although you can.
It's sort of funny, like all the art in this deck sort of bears a striking resemblance. It's all a hooded character, right? So Balustrade Spy, Undercity Informer, and Creeping Chill.
So it
are
looks
all
like
sort
we
of
have a Bolt, Expressive Iteration, Counter Spell, Mishra's Bauble, and Dress Down.
Yeah, Dress Down, very good. Very
So
good card.
let's see if the coast is clear. Here's a Balustrade Spy.
He's going to mill his entire
So
deck
Balustrade
now.
Spy is going to mill his entire library.
Yeah, so he does have Unearth and Unearth in the deck to unearth the Thassa's Oracle.
Oh, okay. Looks like Adam is going to crack his fetch land, find an island.
Is he going to dress down? Yeah, he's going to dress down. So it doesn't have an ability when it comes into play.
Okay.
So it's just going to be a 2/3 flyer for 4.
Card coming from the Dress Down. Dress
Yeah.
Down's going to go away.
Card is great. I think every time that I've seen this card cast,
It is deceptively overpowered.
it's so good. It's defensive, it's offensive. It's in all ways and all things, it's very good. And it counts for another card type in your graveyard for Delirium.
PG.
Yeah. And you can loop it in certain ways because it's a permanent.
With Luris.
Well, not in Modern.
Loopy doopy with a Luris.
We've got a Mishra's Bauble coming down, cracking that right away. this is.
I love a brew.
I feel like Aiden is really pressing Adam to have the answers here. Like he had to get that dress down out of his hand. So
Yeah, I mean, so if the Balustrade Spy works there, it's just game over, right?
That is correct.
So, I mean, Adam would never get a chance to play his third land. So turn 3 GG, Unholy Heat's going to take care of the Balustrade Spy. We're going to surveil a card from the Dragon's Rage Channeler. I would imagine we've got a Ragavan coming into the red zone here. So this is 5 damage. Maybe going to hold back the Ragavan. I don't know how. Good
I don't think he needs to.
I don't know how good of a Ragavan is a blocker against a bunch of Vengevines, but that's fine.
I'd just hammer in. If you're eating stuff off the top of the deck, that's.
I like Sinden Ragavan there. My thing is like all of his creatures have trample, so Ragavan only eats 1 damage.
And he's at 16 life. What does he need? Right?
We're casting
Narcomoeba.
We have entered casting Narcomoeba phase.
Totally reasonable. I wonder if he was worried about a flash creature to block. No, he was tapped out.
Yeah.
I don't understand that.
I think he's just trying to
play it safe.
Mitigate whatever he can. Bolt's going to take care of Narcomoeba here.
Yeah. He's getting so much value off of that.
Adam's going to untap.
Surveil.
What kind of sideboard options do we have for Oops All Spells to combat this fury of counter magic from the Murktide deck? Pact of Negation.
Yep. Fragment. Well, no.
Four copies of Pact of Negation.
We're running some prismatic endings.
It doesn't do anything against counter magic. We don't care about his permanence. We're just trying to.
Sanctity.
That doesn't do anything about counter magic either. No. It protects you from discard spells.
Oh, that's what it is.
Yeah, so Pact of Negation looks to be it.
Yeah. Which is fine. Like, doesn't cost any mana. You're not really untapping.
No, you
anyway.
win the turn you go off. So we'll want to set up a thing where we're doing a Grief or a Thoughtseize, something like that. Make sure the coast is clear, and then we got Force of Negation backup.
Yeah, this list I'm looking at here isn't accurate either. It doesn't have any Griefs in it.
Looks like we're going to scoop them up and go to game 2.
Yeah, that's sort of ran Aiden out there, right? Like...
I mean, he had to have it, though.
Yeah.
He had to have it, otherwise he was just dead.
Adam had a very quick deployment of powerful creatures and backed it up.
What do we have from the Murktide deck as far as graveyard hate goes?
That's an excellent question. So this is sort of one of the most popular decks in the format. And because it is so good at game 1s, it doesn't necessarily need to heavily sideboard. We're probably bringing in extra copies of Dress Down. Potentially Blood Moon to shut off a lot of these flip lands. That could backfire potentially because if you just push with Goblin Charbelcher, that's really all you need. Got. Yeah, that's sort of all we need, right? Like, I would say subtlety potentially, but mostly just additional dress downs. That's going to deal with a lot of the threats. I think ultimately this is Izzet's game to lose. They have the low drop threats, and sort of as long as they can control the board and deploy some amount of power to protect, and a lot of that is going to come in the form of Dragon's Rage Channelers and Ragavans. They can also bring out a Murktide, and then the ticking time bomb from the side of Oops All Spells is sort of mitigated by the control level that Murktide plays, backed up by the threats that are going to end the game as quickly as possible. So it's sort of like an all-in combo deck versus the deck that is designed to combat the all-in combo decks.
So Murktide has sideboarded out the Unholy Heats, 1 copy of Lightning Bolts, 1 copy of Dragon's Rage Channeler, brought in an additional copy of Force of Negation, and Blood Moons.
Yeah, okay, so they did choose the Blood Moons.
Yep. And then the the Oops All Spells deck has sideboarded out Thassa's Oracle and Unearth and brought in 4 copies of Pact of Negation.
Interesting. So I don't mind that. That's totally reasonable.
Yeah.
That protects sort of your primary game plan, right? Because you can't do anything if you don't have the Unearth in hand. It doesn't do anything.
Right.
You have to sort of oops into that. So
Yep.
Oops. That's the Oracle. Not my favorite spell anyway. Not your favorite spell.
No, I hate that card with a passion.
Yeah. I prefer this deck as sort of like winning with.
Yeah, I like putting the Vengevines into play.
Mm-hmm.
I like putting the milling, the crippling chills.
Yeah, those are just so good on their own.
Just present 28 damage
Correct.
and see what they can do about it.
I think that is the best possible, because all you need is effectively 5 mana, and you can play 2 creatures, immediately get you can get your Phantasmagoria back. And then you get all your
what is
Narcomoebas.
Phantasmagoria? Discard 3 cards,
Yeah.
put it into play.
Yeah. And really, well, you just need to cast 2 creatures for the Vengevines, right? And not a hard task.
No, he's got Griefs.
Mm-hmm.
He's playing Griefs. He's playing.
Undercity Informer is the cheaper one, because you can pay 3 to play it and then just immediately crack it whenever you hold it, and it's like an egg.
Right. Gives you the option.
We have Salvage Titan. You can sacrifice 3 artifacts to put it into play.
Okay.
Phantasmagorian is discard 3 cards, return it from the graveyard to hand. Oh, it returns from graveyard to hand.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a way to pitch cards additionally.
Yeah.
But I think
it's a way to get those Vengevines out of your hand and into the graveyard.
yes.
Yep. And then as far as casting creatures go, you will get one automatically because that's how you mill your deck. So either you're casting the Undercity Informer or the Balustrade Spy, and then all you need is a Grief.
Yes. And that's it. It's sort of stupid easy to do. And you're running a bunch of Griefs just because you want that level of interaction.
Mm-hmm.
And you might honestly play the Grief first. Like you
make
cast
sure
the
that the
Grief
road
first.
is clear. That's what the
Yeah.
Grief is for.
And
Clear the
then
way. Clear the way.
I prefer the deck that's being played right now to the list I'm looking at.
Mm-hmm. That one looks like it has some glaring holes in the way that it's constructed.
Grief, very good card in this deck, almost necessary in clearing the way, especially in a format as interactive as Modern, right? Like you can't just hope they don't have it.
Right. You gotta make sure.
Yeah, especially if you're deploying sort of an all-in combo. And that's sort of also what not force of negation, but
Pact of negation. It ensures that your combo goes off.
Yeah, we're not. While on its surface this sort of looks like a goofy combo deck, it has some absolute legs. We just mulliganing now.
Players are just getting shuffled up here still.
Yeah. The longest part of the game is between games 1 and 2.
I believe Tide kept their 7 and Aiden has mulliganed.
Okay.
I think he's looking at his 6 right now, so hopefully we'll be off to the races here real soon.
If you can accelerate out into that.
Looks like Murktide did decide to send his hand back.
Okay.
So.
Probably waiting. Charbelcher is your cleanest answer, right? Because you just
anything that you can protect, I think you just go for it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Fair enough.
If you can make sure that the way is clear and protect, then you're off to the races.
I wonder which version of Charbelcher he's running. Like what art?
I have the Mystical Archive Charbelchers.
Do you?
Yeah, the schematic.
Oh, yeah, that one's rad.
I opened an absurd number of Charbelchers in my Brothers War packs. So I have the full play set of those, one of them in foil.
I just love that the new art has Belcher like shooting Moxen and a Lotus out of it.
Yeah.
All right, so we're off to the races here. We got a Jack-o'-lantern out.
A what?
Jack-o'-lantern.
Excuse me?
It's from Midnight Hunt. It's sort of I believe it's an egg. So you can pay 1, sack it, and exile up to one target card from a graveyard to draw a card, or you can pay 1, exile it from your graveyard to add 1 mana of any color. So this is just a way to color fix after you've milled.
Interesting. So this fights against Blood Moon.
Correct.
I like it.
Yeah. And it also lets you pay 1, tap it, sack it to exile a card from a graveyard, and then you can immediately pay 1 to exile from your own graveyard.
Yep.
So it kind of does
It's
everything.
like a combination graveyard hate plus mana fixing through Blood Moon kind of thing. Murktide has the ever-present 1 mana turn 1 Ragavan.
Something we didn't see a lot of in the last tournament, but in this one, man.
It's happened twice already.
Yeah. As always, we return to Monkey.
On our side, Coalition, it appears that everything is fine. Maybe just try to refresh your browser.
Yeah, it's working for me. I have the stream up right now. That other artifact that he played, that was what was that?
The one that got Force of Negation?
Yeah. He's also playing stuff like Pentat Prism, presumably, that's going to fix mana anyway. I don't know how much I actually like the Blood Moon in this.
Well, Adam does not have much in the way of interaction for this matchup. He doesn't need it. I do think the Murktide deck is favored in both games 1 and post sideboard games. It's just that at the added level of insurance. You know, Unholy Heat, Lightning Bolt, they're not really doing very much in this matchup. So it's better to have something that might do something than something that's not going to do anything. Of course, Lightning Bolt specifically can be pointed at the face, which will end the game.
But there's like, Oops doesn't really care about any of its creatures, in theory. And,
right.
And the ones that you can kill, they come back, or they've already done the thing that they wanted to do.
Absolutely.
Dress Down, in my opinion, much more important.
He did bring an additional copy of Dress Down in.
That's the card that I would say is much more important. The Force of Negations, the Dress Downs. Those are going to do the most amount of work against Dupes All spells.
Yeah, for real.
So Ragavan just getting in here, really pressing Aiden's life total, already at 10.
This deck consequently does a lot of damage to itself. Those MDFCs that lightning bolt you when they come into play, that matters a lot.
Yeah, and you kind of have to do that.
I've been playing the black one in Death Shadow. It's very, very sick.
Oh yeah, because
you just do 3 damage to yourself. Yeah.
It doesn't matter if you're fatal pushing them. You're just eating the 3.
Yes.
Calling that lunch.
Ragavan gonna come into the red zone for a 3rd time.
Yeah, making treasure.
Sorry, 2nd time.
2nd time. He's on 2 treasures. Really doing a lot here, and this represents.
Remember how I told you I made a curated tokens box for the future match area? It's gone.
What do you mean it's gone?
It's gone.
Like somebody took it?
It came in last night and it was gone. I asked Bailey if she knew where it was. She said she had no idea.
It has to be like in a store.
I'm sure it probably is. It's just frustrating that people always touch our stuff.
I had to find our microphone in the back room too. It got wrapped up and put away.
Here's a Balustrade Spy.
Make him have it. I wonder if he's got a force.
I want to see it.
Yeah, if he's got a Pact of Negation.
I'm rubbing my hands together in anticipation. Oh, the deck is going away. Balustrade Spy has resolved.
Yeah. He's just going to do that. Just flip it. Just flip the whole thing. There we go. Now he's going to look at it. Don't box the deck.
No, that's the worst. Please don't box the deck.
Yeah. So now Murktide just getting to look through his opponent's entire library. And this is honestly like really good information to have. If they do go to game 3, having this info.
Oh, interesting. He has Sword of the Meek.
Correct. Because he can Sword of the Meek.
Yeah, so when Narcomoeba comes into play, it brings back the Sword of the Meek.
Which then in turn he can sacrifice 3 artifacts to get back
the Phantasmagorian.
The Salvage Titan.
Or Salvage Titan,
yes. It's honestly very cool.
Interesting. Wow. How this deck has evolved since the last time I saw it.
Yeah. It's bizarre. Is
there just one Sword of the Meek? I mean, I've seen him.
There should be more than that. I think there's 3.
So we're gonna get a bunch of triggers on the stack here.
Yeah. So he's gonna get his creeping chills.
His Narcomoebas, the creeping chills, a I think there's just one copy of Sword of the Meek.
Oh, he has a Thassa's Oracle.
Yeah, he had 2.
Oh, he just
Yeah,
went
he
down.
sideboarded out 1 Thassa's Oracle.
So nicely, this is going to pad his life total to where. Oh, this is just going to 12 his opponent, and then he's going to get his Narcomoebas. And I think he gets to choose how. So if he had another mana, he could actually crack that Jack-o'-lantern, flash back the Memories Journey, and shuffle his Thassa's Oracle back into his library.
Yeah, to make
draw later.
not only does it make sure that he doesn't die,
Yeah.
but it also lets him just cast it.
Yeah.
The jack-o'-lantern being in the
Yeah.
graveyard at this point being important there because he'll need a second blue mana.
Correct. At this point, though, it's sort of
Was there only one Narcomoeba?
I don't know. Maybe he's just resolving them.
No,
Oh yeah,
the-
there's just one.
The creatures have already come into play here, so
Yeah.
there's only one Narcomoeba apparently. So both Sword of the Meeks are going to come back and go on there. So Murktide should have taken 9. Yep, he did. He's down to 8 now. Okay, now we'll need a second creature to reanimate the Vengevines.
Yep. Can he cast another creature?
Right, and it doesn't even need to resolve. It's just simply cast.
And he's casting a Salvage Titan by sacrificing 3 artifacts. Does he have 3 artifacts?
Just putting it into play, I think. Does it cast?
No. You sacrifice 3 artifacts rather than... Oh, it is cast, yeah. So you can sack 3 artifacts rather than paying the mana cost. So
He doesn't have 3 artifacts.
No, he does not. And I think he's saying that now. He gets to exile 3 artifacts from your graveyard to return it to your hand.
Oh, okay. What an interesting card.
So he's exiling 3 artifacts from his graveyard to return
So
it to his
I'm a
hand.
little confused because he doesn't have a library now, and he just passed his turn.
Did he?
Maybe Murktide was just fetching? No.
No,
Murktide is untapping.
That's very strange. Oh, on his upkeep, he can Memories Journey.
Oh, sure.
Yep, he can. So Memories Journey is
So
an instant.
I hope that Memories Journey doesn't get exiled.
Yeah. So he did return the Salvage Titan to hand by exiling 3 artifacts from his graveyard. Y apostrophe S. Yeah, it's so on his upkeep now he can Memories Journey. Yep, to shuffle 3 cards from his graveyard into
And
his
it's just a
library.
single green mana. to do
Correct.
that.
It's very good.
Interesting.
Yeah, and like with Doomsday, it doesn't. You're sort of like your deck being 3 cards doesn't matter. Like
Your opponent having a counter spell here looks pretty good, though, huh?
Yeah, that would be very good for Murktide to counter this. One would
Looks like
say
it did resolve, though. So
he's gonna put
He's
Pact.
got a Pact of Negation, a Thassa's Oracle. Is that all? Just those 2?
Up to 3 cards. Yeah, you could just choose 1.
Interesting.
It's funny, like it's random which of these he draws.
Oh, because they get shuffled.
Yeah. So it's a 50-50 split. But he may have another Pact in hand.
Does Murktide have a way to force your opponent to draw a card?
I don't know. That would be
So Pact of Negation, Thassa's
Yeah,
Oracle.
okay.
Those are gonna get shuffled and put back to hand, or
Yeah.
put into library. I mean,
Yeah. So we're seeing sort of the coolness of this deck right now, which
Yeah.
is that it's so weird. He's letting his opponent cut. So now he gets to draw for turn, which we don't know what it is. Probably a Pact of Negation.
odds are favored. 66% chance that was a Pact.
And we've got a
2
Pentad
mana for a
Prism.
Pentad Prism.
Love this card.
I don't know how he's gonna kill his opponent though, without
Shouldn't that have 2 counters on it?
being able to. Maybe he made a mana right away.
Potentially.
Without being able to reanimate. Sorry, not reanimate. Without being able
Oh, it's
to.
good, yeah. Without being able to...
Without being able to reanimate those Vengevines, I'm
Yeah.
not sure how he plans to win. He must just be on the Thassa's Oracle.
Yeah, it's just on Thassa's Oracle. So he's got
He's got
like,
double pact of negation,
double pact,
Thassa's Oracle, so...
Interestingly, Pact only counters non-creature spells, so if his opponent subtleties the Thassa's Oracle...
Or has a dress down.
Yeah, which are cards that we know Murktide has boarded in.
Oh, is it non-creature or is it instant or sorcery? Pact of negation.
I believe it's instant or sorcery. 'Cause it's negate. Oh no, it
is counter target
wow.
spell. Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah, I was thinking force of negation. This card's very good. Did you know that? Mm-hmm. I opened a bunch of these packs, and I opened 3 of these.
Nice. I did know this card is PG.
And Adam at 2 life now, sort of like on the back foot a bit. Can't really
I don't
crack
know.
his...
Ragavan getting to attack and take a card off the top of his deck is...
Oh, you're correct.
He just gets to strip that Thassa's Oracle away.
I wonder if Adam suspected this. Oh no. What is it? Show it.
Well, hopefully he already has the Thassa's Oracle in hand.
Yeah. So at 2 life now, just cracking that land, drawing a card, doing redraws. Can't really crack these fetches very well. We got a Scalding Tarn and a Flooded Strand in play.
He needs at minimum 2 counter spells.
Mm-hmm. And we're scooping it up. Yeah, I think Oops got there.
Interesting.
No, because all he has to do is pass the turn and Aiden loses.
Because he can't draw a card.
Because he can't draw a card.
What an anticlimax. Oh, he had the subtlety in hand.
Oh, yeah.
Not that it would have mattered, though, because it's counter any spell.
Yeah. Are we deboarding here? I just want to make sure that we got this correct.
Interesting. Yes. Murktide did get their 2-0.
It was sort of unfortunate that we got to see Oops do a cool thing. But then, it sort of fizzled because it probably had some pieces in hand.
I mean, the deck is like inherently kind of a glass cannon, There's many, many different ways that you can interact with it.
Yeah.
Still very cool to get to see it do its thing.
Yeah.
Murktide having basically answers for every single thing that your opponent can be doing, and being able to be kind of flexible, and
there's a reason it's one of the best decks in the format.
Right, yeah, absolutely. So we are going to take a break, and we will be back with round 3 of the Old Cranky Man Collectibles Modern Qualifier here at Game Castle in Ankeny, Iowa.
Bye-bye, be back.